I want you to do something before we begin. If you have a glass of water nearby, pick it up. Hold it in your hands for just a moment and really look at it. What you're holding right now has been a glacier. It's been an ocean. It's fallen as rain over ancient forests that no longer exist. It's flowed through rivers that ran across civilizations we've barely discovered. It's been on the inside of the bodies of human beings, animals, and plants, going back to the very beginning of life on this planet. And before that, before Earth even existed, the hydrogen and oxygen atoms in that glass were forged inside the stars. You're not just holding water, you're holding deep time. Welcome back to Self Love First. My name is Alicia, and thank you for tuning in. Please take a moment to hit the like button. It's a free and easy way to support my channel, and it helps so much. I appreciate you. Thanks. Today, we're going to explore 3 things that I believe have the power to completely transform your relationship with water, and through that, with yourself. First, every drop of water that exists on Earth has always existed. It's never been created, and it won't be destroyed. Secondly, your body doesn't just contain water. It communicates through water, thinks through water, and it holds the emotional story of your life in its fluid systems. Third, natural bodies of water and nature, oceans, rivers, waterfalls, lakes, they're not just beautiful. They carry a healing intelligence that your nervous system recognizes at a level far deeper than just thought. So let us begin. Let us talk about the most ancient, most intelligent, and most understood substance on this planet. Let's talk about water. Here's something that most of us were never taught, or if we were, we moved past it too quickly to really feel it. Water doesn't get made, and it doesn't go away. The water on the earth today is essentially the same water that has always been here. Cool, right? Scientists estimate that the water on our planet is between 3.8 and 4.4 billion years old. And it's been cycling endlessly, beautifully, perpetually through every system on this planet. We call this the hydrological cycle. Water evaporates from the ocean, rises into the clouds, falls down as rain or snow, flows into rivers, seeps into our groundwater, is taken up by plants, exhaled back into the air by trees, flows into the sea again, and the cycle continues. But here's what the textbook version leaves out. The cycle has never stopped, not once, not in nearly 4 billion years, which means that the water moving through your body right now has made this journey, this infinite, sacred loop, literally countless times. Some scientists have traced water molecules in the human body and found that the average water molecule right in your cells has existed in liquid form for 3 billion years. 3 billion years before complex life, before the dinosaurs, before the first forests, before fish, before most of the story of life on Earth has ever even been written. And there's something even more remarkable. When researchers study whether Earth's water, where the Earth's water came from, the current leading theory is that much of it arrived via comets and asteroids early in the solar system's formation, which means that the water on this planet, the water that's in your body, may have originated in the cosmos, seated here across the vast distances of space. You are, in the most literal sense, made of stardust and ancient oceans. Indigenous traditions around the world, they have known this for a very long time, thousands of years. Water has always been spoken of not as a resource, but as a relative, a living ancestor. The Lakota say water is life, not metaphorically, literally. And science, slowly, is catching up. So the next time you drink a glass of water, or step into your shower, or watch the rain fall, know that you are participating in something ancient beyond imagination. You're in relationship with matter that has been flowing, falling, rising, and nourishing life since before this planet had a name. Now, let's talk about something that sits right at the edge of where science and spirit meet. And that's the question, does water have memory? Most of us grew up being told that water is inert, that it's a chemical, H2O, neutral, passive, or a vehicle for other things. But there is a growing body of research suggesting that this view is incomplete, radically incomplete. The most well-known figure in this field is a Japanese researcher, Dr. Emoto. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Dr. Emoto conducted a series of experiments in which he exposed water samples to different stimuli, music, words, intentions, prayers, and then flash froze the water and photographed the crystals that formed. What he found is rather striking. Water exposed to loving words, classical music, and positive intention consistently formed beautiful, symmetrical, geometrically beautiful crystals, and almost like snowflakes, intricate and radiant. Water exposed to anger, heavy metal, aggression, or hateful words or fear formed chaotic, asymmetrical, incomplete structures. Now, his work has been both celebrated and contested. The scientific mainstream has questioned the replication and methodology. But his work opened a door. It opened a conversation. And in quantum biology, researchers are exploring the idea that water is not just a solvent inside the body. It's an active participant in the molecular dance of life. It organizes, it communicates, it responds. When ancient wisdom traditions have called the spirit of water or the intelligence of water, may be in fact pointing at something very real, a responsiveness, a sensitivity, a capacity for information that we're only beginning to have the tools to measure. Now, the Pleiadian teachings speak of water as a living library, a recording medium that carries the energetic imprint of everything that it has passed through. That's amazing. And this resonates not just poetically, but structurally with what cutting-edge water science is now proposing. So water remembers. Water carries information. And the water in your body has been receiving and recording impressions your entire life. This is not a reason for alarm. It's an invitation. Because if water responds to love and coherence, if it restructures the presence of intention and beauty and sound, then how we relate to the water in and around us matters. It's always mattered. Let's bring this even closer. Let's talk about your body. The human body is approximately 60 to 70% water by weight. But that number changes significantly when you think about it at a cellular level, by molecule count, by the actual number of molecules. The human body is 99% water molecules, right? Well, almost everything in you is water. Your blood is water. Your lymph is water. The fluid surrounding your brain and spinal cord is water. The fluid cushioning your joints is water. The amniotic fluid that held you in the womb, you got it, water. Every cell in your body is a water-rich environment where the chemistry of life is constantly being orchestrated. It's beautiful. But water in our body, it's not just a backdrop. It's active. It's an active system. Consider your blood. Your blood isn't just carrying oxygen and nutrients. It's a liquid communication network. Hormones, signaling molecules, immune cells. All of it moves through a fluid medium that responds to both your emotional and psychological state in very real time. When you're frightened, the composition and behavior of your blood changes. When you're at peace, it changes again. When you feel love, it changes again. Water is the medium through which your body talks to itself. Now consider the lymphatic system. One of the least appreciated systems in our body. The lymph is a clear fluid, and it flows through its own network of vessels, clearing waste, moving immune cells, and regulating the fluid balance of every tissue. The lymphatic system has no pump like the heart. It moves through breath, movement, and muscle contraction. It's one of the greatest rivers of your body. and it's almost entirely made up of water. There's also something profound happening at the level of our own DNA. So, research in epigenetics and biophysics suggests that DNA doesn't just sit in some static structure. It pulses, it vibrates, and it communicates through what some scientists call biophotons and through the structured water surrounding it. The water around our DNA might be a critical part of how genetic information is read and expressed. And then there's the emotional body. From the perspective of energy and medicine, and many wisdom traditions, frankly, emotion is not just a mental event. Emotion is a psychological event that lives in your body. It's encoded in the fascia, the tissues, and the fluids. When we experience trauma or deep emotion that we can't process in that moment, it becomes held in the body, in the water-rich connective tissues, in the gut, in the heart space. This is why people cry, releasing water from the body during emotional breakthroughs. It's why the body sweats under stress. It's why grief feels like it lives in the chest and in the stomach. The water in your body is responding to your emotional life. And moving emotion often involves moving the water. When we talk about the MAP method and working with the brain's reconsolidation window to dissolve all these emotional blocks, what we're doing on one level is working with the body's own intelligence to recode information. And water is the medium in which that information lives. Your body isn't a machine with water in it. Your body is a water-based consciousness system. And that consciousness communicates through fluid, through wave, through resonance. Now, if we take this outside, let's talk about what happens when you go to the water. Most of us know this feeling intuitively. The way you feel when you stand at the edge of the ocean and just breathe. It's beautiful. The way something in you relaxes when you sit beside a river or stand under a waterfall or watch a lake go still at dusk. It's not just aesthetic pleasure. Something real is happening. Let's start with what science can measure. Natural bodies of water, especially moving water, like rivers and waterfalls and ocean surf, produce an abundance of negative ions. Negative ions are molecules that have gained an electron. And they're found in high concentrations wherever water is in motion. It's been suggested that negative ions increase serotonin levels in the brain, reduce stress, hormones like cortisol, improve mood, enhance cognitive function, and support your immune health. The reason that a day at the ocean or a hike to a waterfall can feel genuinely transformative is partly because you've been bathing in a field of these charged particles. Your biology responds to them. It's always responded to them because for most of human history, we lived near natural water. We evolved in the presence of it. There's also the electromagnetic dimension. Natural water, especially fresh water flowing over a stone, generates its own subtle electromagnetic field. And the human body, as a bioelectric system, is very sensitive to these environments. Our nervous system, the heart, the brain, all of them emit and receive electromagnetic signals. When you sit beside a natural stream, when your body and the water are in proximity of each other, there's an exchange. The practice of grounding, placing bare feet on the earth, have such a significant psychological effect, including, not limited to, reduced inflammation, improved sleep, and nervous system regulation. One of my favorite subjects. Natural water, especially moving over mineral-rich earth, amplifies this grounding effect. When you wade into a river or sit with your feet in a stream, you're completing a circuit with the earth. And then there's the sound, that sound of moving water, the rhythm of the waves, the babble of that creek, the white noise of a waterfall operates at frequencies that gently shift the brain into alpha and theta states, which are some of the states associated with meditation, creativity, deep rest, and emotional processing. Your nervous system is not just relaxed by water sounds, it's entrained by them, moved into a slower, more coherent rhythm. From the metaphysical and esoteric perspective, natural water carries the memory of the land that it's flowed through. Rivers that have moved through ancient forests, sacred mountains, mineral deposits, and indigenous ceremonial sites that carry an energetic imprint, a frequency that is distinct. Indigenous traditions and Pleiadian teachings both speak of water as a living being with its own consciousness and its own record-keeping function. Going to natural water is not just recreation, it's a meeting. It's a communion. Think about the places on earth that people call sacred. So many of them involve the water. Lourdes in France, the springs of Glastonbury, the waterways of the Amazon. Ancient cultures built their most sacred sites near rivers and springs, not by coincidence, but because they knew living close to the earth teaches you that water is a threshold, a place where the material and non-material meet. If you have access to a natural body of water, go there. Not to do anything, just to be there. to bring your body into contact with that field. Let your nervous system calibrate. Let the ions move through you. Let the sound carry you into stillness. Let the water remind you of what you are. I want to zoom out, way out, to look at water through the lens of consciousness itself. In virtually every cosmology, every creation story, every mystical tradition across human history, water appears at the very beginning. In Genesis, the Spirit of God moves across the waters before creation begins. In Egyptian cosmology, the primordial ocean, Nun, is the source from which all life emerged. In Hinduism, the cosmic waters exist before creation and are the womb of the manifest world. In the Vedic tradition, the goddess Saraswati is associated with the river, with wisdom, flow, and the creative current of consciousness itself. These aren't coincidences. There's no such thing. These are echoes of a deep knowing that water is not separate from consciousness. The water, in some essential way, is how consciousness moves through our physical world. The Pleiadian teachings speak of water as a living record keeper, a crystalline medium through which planetary memory is stored and transmitted. In this understanding, when we pollute our water, we're not just harming an ecosystem, we're erasing memories. We're interrupting a record that's been building for billions of years. And when we honor our water, when we bring consciousness to our relationship with it, we are participating in the healing and the restoration of that record. Saint Germain and the Ascended Masters speak often of the violet flame as a purifying energy. And water, in its natural state, carries something so restorative. The capacity to cleanse, not just physically, but energetically, to dissolve what's too heavy, to restore to what is coherent. Christ consciousness, at its core, is about love flowing without obstruction, like water finding its level, always moving towards wholeness, always seeking equilibrium. It's no accident that water has been used in sacred ceremonies, baptism, purification rituals, blessings in general, across so many traditions. The symbolism is pointing to the nature of water itself. It purifies, it renews, it transforms. We are living in a time of great transformation, and many of us feel it. The acceleration, the intensity, the clearing. In this context, returning to a conscious relationship with water might be one of the most grounding, most healing, and most evolutionary things that we can do. Because water is not separate from us. It is us. It carries our collective memory. And how we relate to it individually and collectively shapes what gets written in that record. So, where does all of this leave us? I think it leaves us at the edge of something very beautiful, a different kind of relationship with one of the most fundamental elements of our life. You don't have to do anything elaborate. You don't have to go buy structured water devices or perform ceremonies. What I'm really inviting you into is a shift in awareness. The next time you drink water, really notice it. Feel it moving through you. Remember that it's ancient. Remember that it's alive. Remember that it's listening in whatever way water listens. The next time you're near a river, a lake, or an ocean, or a fountain, let yourself be with it. Not scrolling, not photographing for your feed, just to be present. Just in the field of it. Let your nervous system remember what it feels like to be calibrated by something older than memory. And the next time you feel heavy or stuck or overwhelmed, consider that you're mostly water and that your body is a river and that rivers are always moving. Even when they seem still on the surface, they are in constant motion beneath. You are water. You are ancient. You are intelligent. And you are always at your deepest level in flow. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this video touched something in you, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Where is your sacred water? What body of water calls to you? For me, it's the ocean. Tell me. Share this with a friend. And if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe for more content on consciousness and ascension. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I post every Wednesday at around 2 p.m. Eastern. I also have links below to my website where you can download my free Dream Life Manifestation Journal and have fun with it. As well as other resources, including my online course, the Embodied Manifestation Toolkit, or to schedule a one-on-one map session if you're interested. If you haven't seen my last video, that one gives you a detailed description on how exactly MAP works. So if you're curious, go check that video out. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and others. Drink your water consciously. And always, as always, self-love first. I will see you next week. Have a beautiful rest of your day, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.